This video is brought to you by the Kingston Bolt, the easy and effective way to back up all your iPhone photos and videos and free up storage on your iPhone. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. So guys, in the past I've reviewed a couple of VPNs and they are definitely the easiest way to keep your security when you're online. So today we're going to take a look at another one, which is called Surfshark. So let's get straight into it. So unless you've been living under a rock, you may have heard that internet security, data privacy, data protection, all that kind of stuff has been a rather big deal recently, thanks to a spineless lizard called Mark Zuckerberg. It's basically the biggest discussion in the tech space right now. But on a personal level, if you're on a public Wi-Fi network or even your own private one, your data is not secure if you're not using a VPN, and VPNs are definitely the easiest way to encrypt what you're doing online. So let's take a look at what Surfshark has to offer and whether or not it's actually worth getting. So Surfshark is the only VPN service to offer unlimited devices to be registered to one account, and this is something that I've actually never seen. It's the only VPN service that does this, and although I don't use basically more than 4 devices registered on this service at one time, it is still nice to have that option, so I could log in on my router, on my Mac, my computer, my phone, my tablet. I could basically just log in on everything, and thanks to its unlimited bandwidth you can just use everything and there's no restrictions. So you could essentially get a license and share a couple of logins with your friends or your family members, and they will all come under the unlimited bandwidth, which means that nothing will be slowed down. Honestly, the difference in speed when using it is not that noticeable, and we will get to some kind of rough testing a little bit later on. But personally, the only use that I have for a VPN, apart from logging in to like PayPal and my banking and everything, is for Netflix. And this is going to sound a bit weird, but Netflix, if you use a VPN, gives you the US Netflix, so you can watch the US Office. There's a lot more movies on there, a lot more TV shows, and I pretty much use a VPN whenever I'm doing anything online. It's just nice to have those American TV shows that you couldn't otherwise get without a VPN. For the sake of the minor speed difference that a VPN will cause to your internet access, I'm not personally willing to take the risk of having my data be stolen. VPNs are especially useful if you're on a public Wi-Fi network. When you think about it, public Wi-Fi is probably the biggest risk you can take whenever you're signing in. If you're on your phone, if you're on your laptop, and the network itself hasn't been patched for the crack attack, which was kind of a little bit viral a couple of months ago, then your data will definitely be at risk. So using a VPN encrypts your data through the network, and just in general, I don't trust public Wi-Fi networks, so I'm always using a VPN when I'm on them. Currently, Surfshark only has browser extensions available for Chrome and Firefox and the brand new Android app, so there aren't any native Windows or Mac apps, and there isn't an iOS app out as of yet. According to their website, it is coming soon, but how soon that's going to be is kind of a question, and currently it is the biggest letdown with this service because I can't use it on my iPhone 6. There's just no way of doing that. On my Mac, I can only use it on Chrome, and I'm a Safari user, and on my PC, it only works with Chrome, so the only thing it's going to protect is the browser, not the rest of your internet access through your computer. The good thing about the browser extension and the Android apps is that they're actually really easy and intuitive to use. Unlike NordVPN, there isn't a map here, so there's no literal geolocation that you can tap and say, connect me to this server. It's just a list, and you might notice that the list is actually a little bit limited as well, because they only have just slightly over 100 servers based in 14 countries, which I suppose could be a problem if there's a whole lot of users on the service, or if your location is actually really far away from one of the servers, like the nearest server you could connect to. It could cause a slowdown, and it is something that I'm hoping will be expanded in the future because they are a relatively new service. However, it is definitely something to remember. For those of you wondering about the specifics in security, Surfshark uses AES 256-bit traffic encryption and the OpenVPN IKE-v2 protocols, which are basically the standard for VPN security these days. And honestly, when I'm using Surfshark, I don't notice a difference between using it and not using it. You won't really notice a difference in what your computer or your phone does, because everything that is happening is essentially under the surface. So rather than having your data just being sent straight through from your phone to your router, instead it's going from your phone encrypted through your router, which is then encrypted through to another server, and then to the server that you wanted to get to. So essentially it adds a second router in, if you think of it that way, and those servers don't actually have any data logging, so everything is essentially private, secured. Now Surfshark is pretty much priced the same as every other VPN service out there right now, actually just a little bit cheaper. It'll cost you about £4.40 per month for a build subscription, or £35 per year, which works out about £3 a month if you do the annual subscription. For such a small price, you're able to register as many devices as you want, and you can essentially just have one £4 a month or £3 a month, depending on which service you go for, and you can have it over all your devices. It's pretty good stuff. So we're now going to take a look at the speed difference between using Surfshark and not using Surfshark, browsing on my Mac, relatively about 3 meters away from my little router that I've got plugged into the mains down there. This is an accurate representation of my experience because I don't really use my MacBook outside of my bedroom, so I'm usually using it about here. But please don't take this as what will be your experience, because my experience here is based off my ping, it's based off my ISP, it's based off the speeds that I get as internet in general, and my proximity to the nearest server. So your experience may differ completely, but this is just my personal experience, and I thought I might share this because I'm actually a little bit impressed with this. So without my VPN, I'm getting 70.1 megabit per second down and 17.97 up with a ping of 12 milliseconds. And now enabling the VPN with the Chrome extension on the default auto chosen location, so I haven't specifically chosen one, we're getting 53 megabit per second down, 13 up with a ping of 29 milliseconds, which is actually only a minor difference compared to some other VPN services that I've tested. The biggest difference here is really the 17 millisecond longer ping, which can be expected with any VPN service because of course you're adding in another server to connect to, but I'm most impressed with the upload speeds being only 4 megabit per second lower. That is something that I was definitely not expecting. If you have a stable Wi-Fi connection whenever you're using the service, this VPN will definitely be great. I'm losing about 17 megabit per second down speed from a fiber line. Just remember that it does depend on a number of factors. This is not a definitive guide to what results you will get. I'm not saying that everyone's going to get 17 megs lower. It's just a rough guide and it is just my experience. So honestly, Surfshark is a good service as of right now. It has potential to get a lot better. Especially if you're an iOS user or you want a native Mac and Windows app, it's not going to be the VPN for you. Unfortunately, I am the kind of person who likes a native app, so I'm going to definitely be waiting for that. It's definitely not the perfect service as of right now, but I do feel like it has the potential to become a much better service in the future. As soon as they release the iOS, Windows and Mac OS apps, it could become one of the most popular VPN services, and it's definitely one that I will be looking at in the future. However, we will have to see what they do about the number of servers if they do have a massive user increase once they release those apps. If you are an Android user and you're looking for a new VPN, this could definitely be among some of the best choices. But for me, I'm going to have to wait until they release all the platform's apps before I can really get a true opinion on this. So what do you guys think? Do you think that you'll be getting a VPN anytime soon? And if you do, would it be Surfshark or would it be someone else? But that is about it from me for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. The Kingston Bolt finally brings on-the-go storage to iPhones, allowing up to 128GB of external storage for all of your photos and videos from your iPhone. With easy storage of files and transfers to and from the drive and the computer, the Bolt is the perfect solution for portable iPhone backups. Check out my full review in the top corner or the link in the video description to find out more.